Hello, welcome back to StepByStep Guitar Tuition.com. This is the 8th lesson in the Step 2 module. In this lesson I'm going to show you the note names of the first 5 frets of the low E string. To try and learn all of the notes on the fingerboard in one lesson would be too much information, so we'll gradually learn more notes as we progress through the step-by-step modules. Again, let me point out that the tuning I'm using for this and the other lessons is the commonly used standard tuning method that I've explained in the preliminary lessons. So I'd recommend having a look at that lesson before going any further. Also, don't forget to refer to your lesson notes where you'll find all the information relevant to this lesson. There are 12 musical notes altogether, and the first 7 letters of the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, are used to name the notes. When a note is raised in pitch, like this, that's called sharpening the note, and when a note is lowered in pitch, like this, that's called flattening the note. In your lesson notes you can see the complete sequence of notes from A through to G, including the sharpened notes and the flattened notes, and this sequence is called the chromatic scale. If you look closely at the sequence, you'll notice that the notes B and C and the notes E and F are the only notes which don't have a sharp or flat between them. It's very important that you remember this when learning the chromatic scale. You'll also notice that the notes between A and B can be named either A sharp or B flat. These notes are called enharmonic. This also applies to the notes between C and D, D and E, F and G, and G back to A. Take some time to study the chromatic scale, paying particular attention to the points that I've just mentioned, and practice reciting it up and down. The good news is, once you've learned it, it never changes. Now let's apply that to the 6th string of the guitar, which is called E. Now we're going to move through the first 5 frets of the low E string, and using the chromatic scale from your lesson notes as an aid, we'll name them. Let's start with the first fret. Look at the chromatic scale and find the note E, and then look for the next note in the scale, which is the note F. Remember, E goes straight to F. There is no sharp or flat between those two notes. So the first fret on the low E string is the note F. Now move to the 2nd fret, and using the chromatic scale again, you can see that the note that comes after F is F sharp or G flat. So the 2nd fret on the low E string is called F sharp or G flat. At this point you can use either name. The next note in the sequence is G at the 3rd fret. The next note at the 4th fret is G sharp or A flat. And at the 5th fret, because we've reached the end of the scale, go back to the beginning, and that gives us the note A. So to recap those notes, we have E, F at the 1st fret, F sharp or G flat at the 2nd fret, G at the 3rd, G sharp or A flat at the 4th, and A at the 5th. You can use the fret markers at the 3rd and the 5th fret as an aid to quickly remind you of the notes G and A. Try and incorporate naming the first 5 frets into your practice routine until you can recall them quickly from memory. Let's try that again. E, F, F sharp or G flat, G, G sharp or A flat, and A.